And we'll continue going in vaults here a little bit longer. Things are going fairly well, and it's a decent chunk of experience. Also, while I'm thinking about it, let's see. Did Donald have a fancy shield? Looks like just a normal one, unfortunately. So we're still on the lookout for, ideally, a reflection branded shield. But okie dokie. How do we do against you, my friend? You are susceptible to cold, which bodes well for us. On topic of different games and my interest in playing Cult of the Lamb, yeah, Necrologist just mentioned this. Could all be the wholesome Cult of the Stone Soup, Twitch integration, etc. Oh, is there really? Oh, that's really cute. I mean, so my plan, because yeah, I think that that's what we will be playing on Wednesdays moving forward, at least for the next while, because I'm very, very much interested in Cult of the Lamb. And there is Cult of Stone Soup I do like, but I think I have to give it up to the all-powerful Bath Cap. And this will be the icon of worship for our entire cult's population. So get ready, folks. Get your bath cows ready, because we're about to start the new world together. That was also probably not the best way for me to start this fight. This, on the other hand, works out quite well. The only reasonable way is a Draco claw battle. Ooh, hell, you mention it. Definitely at least gonna start there, but yeah, you can raffle new followers among specs so you can customize them. Oh, that's really fun. And yeah, no worry, Necrol. But okie dokie. I don't like all the dire elephants. If it was just me and the Ancient Mighty Dragon 1v1 mano a mano, I could be down with that. But as is, I think we're gonna have to do some heavy lifting just to take care of the rest of these sons of guns. They're not fast, so Slouch isn't gonna be dealing extra damage, but still does a decent chunk of change. Again, this is where maybe having that Manifold Assault would have been nice, so we at least get some full smackdowns across the screen, but not strictly necessary at least. Let's put on some ice armor that immediately gets broken. And sorry, but we might have to finish this off with some old-fashioned radiation. As much as I wanted to, you know, really get in there personally and do the damage with my claws, I think I'm happy just to make it out of here in one piece. +4 to Fire Dragon scales. Does keep our outfit on point, so there is that. Maybe we'll even just see what it looks like. Will give us another source of cold vulnerabilities, so we're never super great against cold, even when we're not actively in the form of a dragon. But I don't know if that's the end of the world either. And fantastic. Again, though, this is where I have to start being real careful, because if I just keep holding down tab while I'm in dragon form, there's a decent chance that I just murder everything on my screen, but a single step when you're taking 20 full aughts to do so can definitely be the difference between life and death. Some might want to be slightly cautious there. Step out, step in, and murder you. Beautiful. Don't think any rogue will really be high on our agenda. In fact, I'm going to turn off training armor temporarily here, and let's just focus on unarmed combat transmutations. I'm feeling pretty good about that. And you, my friend, should go down. Fantastic. And at least the might isn't the be-all end-all here. Do kind of have to waste mana on ignitions just to deal with these ranged sons of guns, but that's fine. We're also getting the reflection still, even with just our 5 shielding. That's apparently enough to do it. Oh, what do I do with you kiddos? Could slouch, but I don't love it. Could take one step up, and I'm going to take a lot of hits, but it's probably worth it. Ah, didn't realize we had more friends waiting around the corner. I guess it is going to be a slouch in the end. Still not lethal, unfortunately, so maybe bring out Ice Blast. Maybe bring out another Ice Blast. I'm trying to kill at least one of these ranged Sons of Guns, if at all possible. Please and thank you. Or both. Both is nice, too. And, okay, Preserver has to go first, but I also don't want to die. Well, in that case, let's play it smart here. Let's go with the Fear Scroll. Ooh, you didn't run very far, my friend. Kind of saw through our plan there, so I guess it's going to be Ambrosia just to get a nice chunk of magic points back. Let's not get ourselves too out of control here, and negate that with Curing. We should just be able to irradiate you. You are dealing a lot of damage though, my friend. Just making sure that they don't have a cold branded weapon, and I'm not being exceptionally stupid, only mostly stupid. But one more should kill you, and that is fantastic. Only slightly terrifying. So as long as we don't find ourselves at a ridiculous lack of mana, that shouldn't be too much of an issue in the future. But definitely something to be slightly cautious of. Just because if we don't have the 10 MP required to step from time, then no free panic button, unfortunately. Just reading through this chat about Disgaea, and it's making me very curious to at least take a peek at the game. So good free advertisement there. Might have to check that one out. And oh my gosh, I was just thinking about how much I wanted a Scroll of Blinking. Holy moly, that's what we need. It's kind of good that we didn't have one, because I might have just pulled the trigger and panicked in that last encounter and used it, when, as we could see from how it all ended, not completely necessary. So there is that, but still feel a heck of a lot safer with that in our back pocket. And I was kind of hoping to step up to you, my friend, but that's fine. Instead, just hopefully not take too much lightning damage and murder you. But you think I like it, Dr. Pyre? You get to throw penguins at people? Well, that is one of my prerequisites for any game, so I think you nailed it on the head with that one. How could I not love it? Okie dokie, do we continue going in vaults? I do enjoy all the experience we're gaining, but we might be ready to start clearing our way through depths instead. Better yet, you can throw a tower of penguins, and oh yeah, the penguins explode when you throw them? Oh gosh. So let's add up all the facts we've learned together. You can throw an entire tower of penguins that all explode. Holy moly. Well, if that's not the way to deal with their problems, that's right up there with turning into a literal dragon for dealing with your problems in life. Holy moly. Penguins or prinnies equal grenades. Just like real life then. Cool. That transitions well from the knowledge I have in life. We all use penguins for that purpose anyway, so I don't see the problem. But okay, I kind of just went on autopilot there for a second, beginning to clear our way through Vaults 4, which might be the play here. Netcrawl, for you, Final Fantasy VII was your jam? Nice. That's definitely a classic. I played a decent amount of the original version of it. I didn't own it myself, but whenever I went to my friend's house, that was our main jam, so that's all we played. But one of these days I need to play the remake. I mean, everyone talks such incredible things about it, but even my brother, which is where I get like the majority of my gaming recommendations, has labeled it as one of his top games of all time. So at some point I'd like to play the remake. I feel like I watched a little bit of Potato playing it, but that was a while back. But we will decide where we wish to go next year, but before then I'm going to take just a brief intermission here. I'm gonna run out, grab a refill for my glass, as well as pour some food for sweet doggo here. But don't go anywhere, and we'll be right the heck back. See you in just a sec. Okie dokie. Whoa, you're just mentioning the zombies with horse wieners that you can steal now? Why didn't you start with that, Dr. Pirate? Well, don't get me wrong, exploding penguins, pretty high on the list, but now that you mention it, oh me, oh my. 50% of this guy's grinding, 5% story, and 45% deciding how you will grind. And no, there's just one zombie with the horse wiener. It just takes one, really, at the end of the day. The ultimate zombie, indeed. And do links work in our chat? I believe so, Dr. Pirate. There was the longest time that I was just fighting against our auto mod, but I believe that we got through that. Feel free to test it. That zombie only really exists so you can steal the wiener and use it for yourself. Again, that you're just stating things that we all are completely aware of based on real-world experience. In fact, stealing the wiener is the only way you can get it. I expect nothing less. Okie dokie. Hey, Stickman, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic weekend, but came at just the right time for us to make some decisions. What are my thoughts on Rue? Feels a bit underwhelming. From what I understand, it's all about Apocalypse. Basically, you're just making sacrifices and all these other things just for Apocalypse. Like, it's not drain out power, draw out power. It just drains you, so that's all I can think of. But draw out power can be useful just as a panic button. It's kind of nice having like a free heal wounds potion. Free, I guess, not exactly. But I definitely haven't quite gone the hang of Rue. I just know that there are those few players who very much swear by them, and from what I understand, it's all based around Apocalypse. So even if the things that you're getting aren't as great as the things you're sacrificing, if you can survive to that point, you just start to blast them. You want to go to Vaults 1 to free Hugh Safed? Let's take a look, shall we? Let's see how strong Hugh was, because I don't really have too much of a recollection. What was your broadaxe of? Electrocution? That's not great, but not the end of the world. Guess we'll soften you kiddos up with some fireballs while we're at it. Or, you know, freezing clouds also, I guess, something that can do the trick. Beautiful. And not too shabby. Once everyone stands next to each other is when we can just get blasting. And last but not least, fantastic. It's kind of a shame that we're not on an axe run, because +2 broad axe electrocution, pretty sick. For you Nightcrawler is a god you can slap in almost any run, and it kind of be good in your opinion. So yeah, for you, would you agree with that it's mostly about Apocalypse, or do you really enjoy using all the abilities, the like power leap and the draw out power? Probably messing up the names of one of those because I don't think they ever used power for both, but And you wonder if the number of kills you get in the cast of Apocalypse removes most of the heavy draining it gets you. From what I understand, exactly. Yeah. Especially if you're working with high density. I mean, it makes sense even for something like Ziggurats, because Ziggurat's sprint is where I enjoy going either Rue or Quaslaw, because with both of them you can basically just spam your AoE god abilities and beat the entire sprint. It's a bit cheesy, but if I'm looking for just 20 to 30 minutes of a good time, that's definitely one of my go-tos. Necro, you've been trying FedS's Plant Tower Defense Simulator lately, very fun. You would have loved old FedS then, because it used to be even more so of that. No, Gozeg is king in Ziggurat too, for sure, yeah. For Mega Zigging, 100%. I think it's like the only way to go. But Cyber, you like Rue for null runs, but you hate nulls and hate Rue. And I feel like I would have a trouble or slight trouble with that, because one of my whole reasons of enjoying nulls is the lack of limitations, and unfortunately Rue kind of goes against that. And you know what, Safid? I don't think I'm fighting Hugh yet. 193 health, 38 damage on a vampiric weapon. That one might have to wait. Definitely might have to wait on that one. Yeah, it's thick. Great coding joke, Dr. Pirate. But even more, damn FedS makes it look almost like Stardew Valley already. Yeah, that was partially why the changes were put into place for them, because before it was very much like all people would do was try and farm it so that you could set up a ridiculous tower defense maze on Zot 5 and just clear out everything using it. So it was, you know, one of those things that fell into the department of tedium. Also, holy moly, what am I doing? Protection from fire ring can go, because I definitely need some protection against this son of a gun. I will break my icy armor just to make sure that we don't get ambushed by too many bad boys, but right, Torinski, remember, you have cold vulnerability when you go into dragon form. Now it's a little bit better. We at least go to neutral, so that's something. Still not great resistances when we are a dragon, but that's fine. Let's try it on for size, shall we? Oh, and there are multiple of you. Hello. It's a good thing that flying is no longer an issue with airstrike. Otherwise, this would definitely be a little bit more of a slog. As is, we'll just, I guess, continue to murder things as they come to us. Meals on wheels. Love to see it. You, my friend, can just step up. No need to waste any magic there. I think we're just at 2 pips of fire. Thought we might be at 3, but that was just with that ring in hand. Stay in dragon form here, though, and fantastic. If I can just bring one of you upstairs. Oh, turns out it doesn't matter that much, because we do just murder you straight up. I guess if it just works, why the heck not? Hello, my Hell Knight friends. If you could all just step to me through the fog of cold. Wonderful. Lots of fancy stacks coming in as well. Oh, wow, we have some high stats from Shay. It's so nice. Yeah, if you're ever looking to play like full hybrid characters, I can't recommend Shay Briados more, for sure. I mean, in this case, we're not wearing heavy armor because I'm using dragon form pretty religiously anyway, but on pretty much any other Shay Briados character, I'd be in full, at least plate armor, potentially even moving up from there into something heavier. and still slinging around level 8 spells. So definitely a good time to be had by all. Let's keep blasting you kiddos though. In fact, I think I will do one last. Ignition, and now things are starting to look a little bit rough. Let's see, you kiddos still have bad willpower, so at the very least we can throw out a fear scroll. And let's back off just a smidge temporarily, because I do need to be careful. I also totally forget all the time that I have flame breath now, right? That's a thing, that's important, so let's try to bear that in mind. But there we go, that's actually better. Even though I also don't have corrosive resistance, it's at least slightly more manageable than the lightning. And speaking of lightning... Oh. I accidentally closed the door instead of taking actions to protect myself. Whoops. That's not great, but Irradiate should finish off these sons of guns. 55 health, you're dealing 36. 45 with your rocks. I think I'm just gonna have to use the heal wounds. Potentially could throw another fear out and get out in one piece. I think what we should do here though is first and foremost take my hands off the keyboard, because I just keep pressing buttons and doing stuff when I should instead be thinking about my decisions in life. We have 3 fear scrolls, so still plenty of wiggle room there. Teleport's not going to do the trick, takes too long, and doesn't even really fix our problems. If we lose dragon form, we're in a very bad spot. So that's something to potentially keep in the back of our minds here. And teleportation also just is not a great strategy, I guess, for a largely unexplored floor. Stone Giant, if you want to, yeah, come say that to my face. Oh gosh, they did say it to my face, and it really hurt. What are my chances of hitting you? 97% chance to hit? Then I do just kill you. Slowly make my way back to the stairs. There we go. So I used up a few more consumables than I would have liked. Let's potentially try and not live life quite so close to the edge, if at all possible. And no, don't use your words, not your fists. If only they had, right? We could have come to a reasonable understanding between the two of us, but as is, I guess this is just the way it is. But Cyborg, your best games have been with that ancestor god, Hepliaquana, I think is how you say their name. That's one that I always appreciate having written out in front of me, but it's something like that, Hepliaquana. But I hear really good things about them too. I definitely find them very fun, but haven't gotten a lot of experience firsthand. But let's see, where did all these kiddos go? Hello, friends. Jeez Louise. And even one just baby ugly thing, if it happens to be lightning themed, is a bit of a problem. You guys just call it Grandma. Very cute. It worked out really nicely when we were doing character dynasties. Like, I think one of the Fling family members ended up doing so we just kept naming the ancestor after previous members of the Fling line. So that worked out. That's honestly almost enough of a selling point on its own, is the simple fact that you get to you get to make fun names for your characters, or for your ancestors, rather. Who wouldn't want to do that? But okie dokie, we get a Kite Shield of Resistance, which is pretty sweet, but unfortunately is still kind of problematic. Or less so, it's just... Or less so problematic, but more so it's just not solving the problems that we currently have, which is that everything gets melded into our body and we lose most of our resistances. Generally on a Dragon Form run like this, you're very much hoping to get some good artifact rings out of the mix. Otherwise, things might go a little bit lackluster at certain sections of the game. But we'll kind of just have to keep rolling with it. Let's see where we land. all my dead friends, you could come right this way. Come one, come all. Fantastic. Ooh, definitely don't step into clouds of freezing vapor, not when we're in dragon mode here. But we will try and kill these necromancers right away. And then the rest of these kiddos we can just fight. I guess I maybe should have checked for potential banishing weapons, but I guess sometimes you just gotta roll with it. It's kind of a shame that our barding doesn't expand to be dragon-sized, because that would almost make a certain amount of sense if we could keep that going with us after the change. Ooh, there's a juggernaut in there. Oh my gosh, and crystal spears. Attack's extremely slow. It is small, 100 health. Can you get dragon armor? I don't think we get to keep wearing it as we make the transformation, unfortunately, because the melding happens before the growing, but that would be a cool little bit of flavor, hey? If only, if only. But okie dokie. Those crystal spheres suck a whole lot. Let's see, if you can come adjacent to me, then we at least can start just irradiating the ever-living crap out of you, but until then, holy moly, that hurts. Be cool if you could find armor that you have to lug around, but you can put it on as a dragon. Oh, and then you'd have to try and keep yourself in dragon form by having good timing on your casts. It'd be interesting for sure. Have to have some kind of flavor as to what happens when you lose dragon form while wearing it, and all of a sudden you're just surrounded in a giant encasement of metal. Way too big for your now normal sized body. Okay, but yes, more importantly, what the heck do I do with you? Once you're next to me, I can irradiate. I guess before then, we can acid, and that's something. And then I just need these irradiates. I guess my claws are probably actually better to a large extent, so that worked out. It's just a dragon-sized graphic tee. I see. So yes, we're using armor in a very generous sense, but I like that. That would make a bit more sense with the stretch, you know, the give and take. I think it'd all work out. Also, is there actually a way into this vault? Potentially not, now that I look at it. This might be something that you, like, dig into. Oh, or, you know, just open the door if you really want to get in. So, perfect. We don't actually have to worry too much about all those scary, scary friends waiting for us there. Really good synthetic weave. Dragons, teas always do have the best weaves. Let's take these kiddos upstairs, though, before we do anything that we regret. Just play it safe. And if I could get Manifold Assault just any day now, that would be great. I guess we could potentially hope to get it in, like, Slime if we're going there for a third rune. Or we could end up taking a bit of a trip into Elf. I was debating not bothering with it in this run today, seeing as how it didn't seem to be strictly necessary for our continued survival, but it may be the difference maker. Plus, you will also find a nice selection of artifact rings, ideally, going down that direction, so that's another thing that we are, by and large, hoping to find here. It's actually a shirt with a circle and a skull on top of it, lightning bolt down the middle, and red one side, blue on the other, and 4 teddy bears dancing below it. Now that is quite the shirt. There's a lot to process, a lot going on. You're just absolutely mind-flooding anyone who comes across you. Ah. That's not who I wanted to see. You only have 97 health. So, theoretically, I can just blast you. Oh, and also, yeah, you can't forget the various colored mushrooms. You know, I thought the shirt was missing something. Sure, there's a lot going on, but definitely makes more sense now with the various colored mushrooms added into the mix. But okay, we don't want Dimension Anger coming down. Otherwise, that's a problem. So what do I do with you. Could bring our own enchantress into the mix. I guess Dimension Anchor is only 4%, so I shouldn't base my entire plan around that. The issue, of course, is if they strip willpower and then inflict one of those nasty sons of guns. So I'm going to start the teleport nice and early, especially as we continue to take hits. Get an Irradiate out to potentially kill off a decent number of the Spriggans here. Oh my gosh, and the Enchantress is almost dead. Huh. I'm actually going to slouch then, and that should do it. Does in fact do it. Well, that worked. That worked quite well, I'd even say. We've now gotten shafted a little bit further away. I guess shouldn't say shafted, that's loaded terminology in this game. But we've been shunted by our teleport scroll to a place pretty far from all of our upstairs, so I'm gonna slowly but surely make my way over so that we at least have a nice direct path between the two. So we get a level up for intelligence and another point of AC as well. Love to see it.